What up, what up, what up? So it's been a while since I've made a video. Just taking a holiday break, kind of trying to enjoy my time, and I've had a lot going on. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays, and I figured I'd stop when Walking Dead stopped, and I did, and now I'm going to start back up as Walking Dead starts back up. That's just kind of the way I look at life. If it doesn't revolve around The Walking Dead, it doesn't matter to me. So I figure the best way to get back into making my videos is to start off with a review. New item on the market, Subtank Mini. And as you know, I wasn't very pleased with the original Subtank. I had time to mull it over, and it was actually a better product than what I originally stated. I really didn't give that review what it needed. I didn't really review it the way it should have been reviewed, and so I'm going to remedy that by reviewing the Subtank Mini appropriately. With the Kanger Subtank, all I did was review the RBA function, which has limited and restricted airflow. The airflow on the actual OCC coils is just phenomenal. And I talked quite a bit of shit, talking about how the airflow sucked and everything like that. The tank itself looks really awesome. Very badass tank. But like I said, the airflow on the RBA option just kind of sucked. And I can't pump it up to anything higher than about 20-25 watts where I get, a burned cotton taste every single time. And that is terrible. So we're going to review the Mini all the way around. We're going to start with the 0.5 ohm OCC coil. We're going to do the 1.2 ohm OCC coil, and then we're even going to do the RBA function. And I'm going to be vaping on some Forbidden Fruit from Inferno Vapes at Smoky Mountain Vapes in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. 3 milligrams. Here's a Subtank Mini, the box it comes in, from Kanger Tech. There's a little barcode scanner thing on the bottom. The box and everything looks just like it did with the original Subtank. Packaged pretty much the same way, but it is much smaller. It does come with this little caution card, and it's got some foreign language on the other side, and then English on this side, just telling you how to fill your core. I think this looks pretty good. And as you can see, I've laid out everything that comes inside of the packaging. You've got your RBA and your 1.2 ohm OCC. It's organic cotton coil. The extra Pyrex glass tank, pretty solid. Your organic cotton that they send with it, some extra O-rings, a couple of pre-built coils, your little magic blue screwdriver, and some screws. Information packet. Let's see what this fucker is. Huh. Authenticity card. Standard stuff that you get with Kanger. And of course the tank itself. Right out of the package, you'll notice that the Subtank is considerably different. The Mini is considerably different than the original Subtank, weighing in at only 60 grams. The length is 48 millimeters, has a 22 millimeter diameter, much smaller, obviously. It fits on any 22 millimeter mod. It still comes with the same 0.5 sub-ohm OCC coil. It ranges between 15 and 30 watts. And then the 1.2 ohm OCC head that ranges between 12 and 25. Capacity for this tank is 4.5 milliliters. Removable drip tip, very similar to the last one, very nice. Wide bore. Machined very nicely. Don't see any oils. Same standard Kanger markings on the bottom. Airflow design is a little bit different, but still pretty standard. It is adjustable. It adjusts fairly easily. And that's wide open. Oh, that's nice. Completely disassembled in front of me, we have the parts from left to right, your standard drip tip. The tank part, whatever you want to call it, it's the body of the tank. It's like a nice little cage. Very cool design. It says Kanger Tech across the top, very sexy. Pyrex glass tank. The actual body, the base of the tank, and then your core. Same standard square core, very, very nice. Doing it a little bit differently. Quite a bit of airflow on that. Let's put it all together. And to put it together, we start with a core and your base. You will notice that on this base it does not have that springy 510 connection like the original Kanger Subtank had. I don't think that that's really a huge loss. I thought that was a really cool idea, but apparently they didn't, or there were issues with it that I was unaware of. But they discontinued that for some reason. Your core goes right in, nice and smooth, or as Rip Trippers would say, buttery. Take your Pyrex, you just slide it over the rest, and it just pops right into place, nice and easy. Slides off, pops on. Actually pops on easier than it slides off. 510 tip, drip tip goes right in. And like I said before, we're going to be using 3 milligram Forbidden Fruit from Inferno Vapes at Smoky Mountain Vapes. You just fill from the bottom. Obviously you do not want to go past the chimney. I think we can stop there. That was pretty good. We still had some more room to go, but for the sake of getting this done. And then it also suggests putting 3 to 4 drops in the core itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to grow on. And just dump it over. Put it all together. You want it hand tight. Don't over tighten these things. That's one of the issues I did have with the original Kanger tank, is if you over tightened, it would not come apart. Let's vape on it. Alright, here it is sitting on top of my Sigelei 150, looking very nice, very sexy, very sleek. I've got the Sigelei turned down to 24 watts. If I can get it to focus. It's not going to focus. Anyway, 24 watts. It says that a coil comes out to 0.7 at 4 volts. Let's see how it does. Obviously you want to prime this a couple of times. You don't want to just pour your juice in and immediately go after it. I did that off camera, but we'll do a couple more. Alright, let's give it a shot. Ooh, great airflow. Very enjoyable. Flavor is awesome. I like this. I like this quite a bit. No, flavor is not RDA quality, but it's up there. It's definitely good. It's the best out of any tank I've ever had. I actually say this is better than the Atlantis. That's a bold statement. Very nice. Alright, let's move on to the 1.2 OCC coil. Alright, don't let the change in lighting disturb you. I'm up here at this vape shop, and I started doing this before the shop opened, but now we are open for business, so the lights have to be on. I kind of enjoyed it with the lights off. It was a nice little ambiance, but business is business. So here's the 1.2 ohm organic cotton coil that comes in the package. Also want to put through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to grow on. Drops in there. Put the drip tip back on. Prime it. So she vapes. Alright, the instructions say that with the 1.2 ohm coil, you want to keep it below 25 watts. Just because I absolutely hate the burnt taste, I'm going to go down to 20 to be on the safe side. So 20 watts. Really not putting this Sigeli 150 to its full potential, but that's alright. So it says 1.2 ohms, spot on, 20 watts, 5 volts. Let's give it a shot. That's very nice. Very nice. I gotta say the flavor's about the same. It's not any better than it was with the 0.5. It's not any worse. The airflow is still the same. The only thing difference is it's not as hot, and the vapor is not quite as much. Still very enjoyable. Let's move on to the RBA. Alright, and here we have the components for the RBA. Obviously the base, which comes with this pre-built little coil on it. We're going to go ahead and use that. Comes with the barrel, and then obviously your top cap, which is significantly different from the last setup on the original Subtank. They've done something different here. So let's put it together. Alright, so we're going to use the organic cotton, Japanese cotton, that Kanger sends with their RBA. Obviously feel free to use whatever wicking material you prefer, if you like rayon or just your own organic cotton balls, or tampons, whatever you prefer to use. Obviously be safe with it. I don't recommend using anything that's been sprayed with any kind of chemical or that you have heard is not safe. I haven't heard too much about Japanese cotton. I've heard that it is safe. I prefer just organic cotton balls. I technically don't use this very often. To me, it does change the flavor a little bit, but it's all subjective. So we're going to use it. When you cut it, make sure you are looking at it appropriately. Notice that the actual pattern it's almost like it's stitched in going horizontally. You want to cut with that pattern this direction. If you cut like this, it's just going to fall apart like this, and that's terrible. You don't want that. You want to cut a thin strip. That's probably almost too much. I'll probably end up tearing that down in half. Actually, you know what I am. I'm going to rip half of that out because that's just too much for this particular build. It's a small coil. Tiny, very tiny. So we're going to use this little bit here. I'm going to fast forward through this part. We're just going to skip ahead. Alright, when you get your cotton in there, you want to cut it off just the right amount. You don't want too much or too little, because this is going to have to stick to the sides here. You don't want to block that channel. You want to get as much airflow as you can, and that's where the airflow is coming up from the bottom, so you don't want it to be oversaturated, and you also don't want to block your juice channel so that it gives you a burnt taste. So this just inserts just like the coil, right into the base to base, tip to tip. Alright, let's juice her up. Very, very subtle with the juice. You don't want to overdo it. It is not an RDA. There is an airflow hole right there underneath the coil, and you don't want to get juice in there. Very minimal amount of juice in the air hole if you can avoid it. And using the juice almost as an adhesive to get the wick to stick to the sidewall of the RBA itself, of the base of it, like so. As it sticks, obviously do be somewhat liberal with your juice, but don't oversaturate. Alright, now we just screw the barrel on around it. Also, hand tight. When you meet resistance, stop. Don't tighten it. There's no need. You don't want to cut off that airflow, and you don't want it to be so tight that you can't get it off. These threads are on point. Alright, and that's what it looks like. We've got juice in our tank. Slide it in just like before. Let's vape it. The Sigelei reads it at 0.6 ohms. This is the pre-built coil that came with it. So I put it at 24 watts, and we're going to see how it does. Already getting a little bit of blowback, but that's expected. Oh man, flavor is phenomenal. The airflow is so much better than the original Subtank. As of yet, I haven't gotten a dry hit, which was pretty standard. Every third or fourth hit with the original Subtank was a dry hit for me. It would just burn. It was disgusting. I hated it. And that's with the RBA, not with the coil heads. That's with the RBA. That's very nice. Let's bump it up a little bit. I'm going to take it up to 30 watts. 30 watts. That's a much warmer vape. Flavor is still really good. I feel like we could probably go a little bit higher. Let's take it up a little bit. Let's try 35. Watts. It's warmer. Flavor is up. Flavor is still good. Airflow is phenomenal. Way better than the Subtank. It's still nothing like, you know, what you would want with an RDA or something. It's definitely not comparable to like the Doge. But I'd say it's better than a Patriot, better than a Tugboat, better than an original K-Fun or a Russian 91 or a Limo. Well, I don't know. The Limo has some pretty good airflow. At least the one I tried did. It's good. It's better than your standard RBA. Let's bump it up some more. Let's go up to 40. Ooh, that's too high. 40. Alright, and here we are at 40 watts. Still doing just fantastic. I'm afraid to go too much higher because I hate that burnt hit, but I kind of want to see where it goes. $45 it is. Let's go. $45 watts. Excuse me. That's it. That's burnt. 45 watts is too much. So I say 40 is going to be your cap, roughly. I'd say it's probably safe to stick around 30-ish, but I didn't have any issues out of 40. I'm sure if I continue to vape on it at 40, it'll start to burn out eventually. So let's suck some of that juice back in there. Nice. I've got the best flavor, I think, out of 25. 25 watts. I like this thing. I think I'm going to keep it. 25 watts. So there you are. Subtank Mini. Great purchase. Great buy. I'm gonna stop talking about pricing whenever we do these reviews, because everywhere prices things differently. However, I would easily pay up to $45 for this. Anything over that might be overkill. I don't know. It just depends on you. What I would spend on something and what you would spend on something are two different things. We both live two different financial dependent lives. So whereas $45 might be my cap, you might have a cap at $100 and you'd willingly pay $100 for this because $100 is nothing to you. To me, $100 is the world. So I think 45 would be my cap, but then again, I just don't know. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe, tell your friends, like the video, share it on social media, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Let the world know about my videos and my reviews. We've got a lot more things coming your way, not necessarily reviews. We're going to be talking a lot about what's going on with FDA regulations, vape media, things like that, touching base on all of that stuff so that you guys are in the know as to exactly what's going on in the world that means so much to me and hopefully so much to you. So again, please subscribe and tell your friends. Always remember, be informed, not opinionated.